beaten tonight, but they're hoping they're all going to be fit and ready and firing, full of goals on Wednesday night. Is this the biggest problem for this Manchester United squad right now?
Yeah, it's the same interview that we've heard from the manager. He's obviously frustrated.
It's very difficult for him to
keep
answering those same questions.
Absolutely, I'm not knocking him for that. I'm just making a point about it. We've heard it all before. They don't score enough goals. He talked about aggression. They've had one shot on target. No goal tonight. No goal against West Ham. He's talking about obviously Europe, but this was a league game. You got to focus on the league. What we're talking about. Talks about what they can do in the final third, but that's the most important part of football. Obviously, you got to defend properly, and you got to be aggressive. Like when you look at the goal, if you want to analyse the goal, Garnacho just runs by him. James, he doesn't even tackle him. He doesn't be aggressive. So they have a problem, and they've got no striker. Hoyland tonight looked like the young kid for Chelsea. He looked like he's just come out of the academy. His runs weren't right. His timing, his hold-up play. Again, if you're a striker for playing for Man United, you walk up, you know how to even for the whole team, one shot on target. It's just.
But do you think he would be better with more quality around him?
Well, we keep making excuses for him. We talk about confidence, but you still think when you're a striker up there, you've got to make something happen sometimes. And what the big clubs have, and United have always had, strikers who can produce something by themselves, even if they're not getting great service. They produce something because they've got quality, they've got a bit of desire, determination, a bit of experience, football intelligence. We don't see that with Hoyland. So United are up against it all the time. Obviously, he needs a little bit of support, but my goodness, sometimes you've got to just do a bit better. I think he got a ball in the first half on the edge of the box, and he didn't even know he wasn't even in the right body position to take a shot, and he knocks it back. Should be getting in on goal.
So we've talked about this this summer, and we've heard this language of being brave this summer from Ruben Amorim. If that means a big turnover of players, how many of this Manchester United group would you have a not for sale sign on?
Well, truthfully, obviously you'd have to be realistic. You're not going to get everyone of it. People like Bruno and. Listen, it's the ones just the ones.
Bruno or.
Well, Bruno's always on who springs to mind because obviously he's a brilliant player. But of course, there's a few you have to go on to. Just talk about Garnacho. You look at Maguire. We've got new players who come into the club. They need time to settle in. Obviously, the big decision on the goalkeeper. You need a world-class striker. But it's who comes in for these players.
So would you fight to keep some of these younger ones that have been talked about? Garnacho, Kobbie Mainoo, Rasmus Højlund?
No, I wouldn't be. On them three. I wouldn't be hanging my hat on them three to get Man United. Mainoo comes on tonight. I watched him closely. He's strolling around the place. Some of his passes were sloppy. So when you're on about coming on the pitch, Garnacho is very he's immature. He plays in little moments, but he doesn't do enough. Again, we spoke before the programme. You want players for the big clubs who turn up week in, week out. And he doesn't do that. He's got a bit of talent. He makes some good runs and he threatens him behind. And on his good day, you think, listen, I like what I see. But he's got too many bad days. And Hoyland, in his defence, I think he should have probably been a backup striker, third or fourth choice, and learn his trade off 2 or 3 brilliant strikers. The fact when he came to the club that he was going to be the main man, he's not good enough. He's certainly obviously lacking in confidence and belief, and he's not surrounded by brilliance either. So there's the problems that we've spoken about United all season are still there. Now, if people think they can fix that in one summer, then that's not going to happen.
But is that the kind of bravery, the brave decisions that United need to make to start moving forward?
I mean, Euro's obviously not going to be sold. He's only just come to the club. I can't disagree with Roy. I just think pretty much every single player, there is a price on all of them. I think that just tells you where they are.
Because if they win on Wednesday night, they're going to have to be playing twice a week again.
I mean, they're
at a higher level.
Yeah, and they're going to have Champions League football. And right now, you'd look at that and you'd probably be nervous for that squad going into Champions League football because it's not all of a sudden going to become better overnight. It's not going to get better because they've got a bit more experience. So I think pretty much every single player, I think Jason Wilcox and all the new CEO, they will look at it and go, if the offer's right, and then we can bring in somebody younger, better, we'll have to do it.
But what's the positives with these teams? Well, I've mentioned it before. You watch certain teams and you hang your hat on something. You say they're really technically very good. They're fit. They're brilliant at set piece. You look at United, go, they're not really good at anything. So this idea that they can do something this summer and bring in loads of special players if they don't win next week, I think the days of everyone wanting to go to Man United, no matter where they are, I think them days are gone. I don't think there'll be players looking to go sign for Man United unless they're.
You don't think there's that extra cachet about the club anymore?
No, that's gone. That a bit of excitement with the club. I think the fans even here tonight, I don't think the United fans are angry anymore. It's just an acceptance. Even the manager's interview there, he's accepting where they are. Now, obviously you have to be realistic, but you still want to show emotion and a bit of anger. I think United fans will be going back up the motorway to Manchester tonight going, no, that's what we thought would probably happen. And that's just sad.
I didn't come here today with 1 second and think that Man United would win, or even Tottenham
Who
today.
did?
No one.
Well, I certainly didn't.
No.
And I don't think the manager did. And more importantly, I don't think the players believed they could come and win tonight. And even the Chelsea managers, he's patronised them by saying, oh, they played well, they pressed us, they went 1v1, hey, they're dangerous, we watched them a few times. They beat them 1-0.
And one shot on target.
One shot on target. He's just up. What they're doing to United, they're patting them on the head, going, and off you go back up to Manchester. That's what United used to do to teams years ago. Now they're getting it. And they've got to respond to that. Don't accept that nonsense.